Thank you everybody for showing up today. And I also just want to acknowledge Orange Shirt Day. It's really nice to see all of you in your orange shirts. And I'll just, my name is Julia Stoneman, and I'm here to talk about the Rivers to Success Mentoring Indigenous Students program. All right, so quickly, I just want to acknowledge that I'm actually about 2 weeks officially into living in Calgary, or just out of Calgary in Alberta. So I want to acknowledge that I'm living and working in the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, Nakota, and the Métis Nation, and all those who make Treaty 7 their home. Kininaskamotin, thank you for welcoming me to the area. I honestly love it here since I've been here. So quickly, the mentorship team. I'm a whole half of our team at the moment. We're a pretty new program. Mentorship has been around for about 12 years here at Inspire. I'll give you a little bit more of our history in a moment, but my name is Julia Stoneman. Like I said, I'm a mentorship officer. There's Greg Monias, and he is also a mentorship officer. And then Mike Hager is a support for our team, and he also works with a Teach for Tomorrow program that is a part of Inspire. And then there's Ruth Norris, who is the manager of student success here at Inspire. So quickly, I just wanted to show you Greg's face here. This is Greg's very handsome face for all of you to see. And if you become a part of our program, you'll become very familiar. Like myself, he's from Northern Manitoba, and we actually have about 10 years of experience working together. So he's a very great guy, and we're very lucky to have him be a part of our program. And a little bit more about me. I'm actually from Northern Manitoba. I grew up in Lynn Lake, Manitoba, and my reserve is Grand Rapids, Mississippi Cree Nation. I have two daughters. They are 4 and they're 10. And I've been working in education for about 10 years now. I've been at Inspire for about a year. I came in a year ago when they were just in the very beginning of transforming our mentorship programs. So if any of you are familiar with Inspire, mentorship has been a part of our programs for about 12 years now. And when I came, we were just transforming what we were doing. And I've been here from the very beginning when we sat in the rooms and we talked about what do we want to make this program look like? What do the students need to succeed? To now developing it. And it's been awesome. Before this, I was in the university environment and I was working in Indigenous student centers and I was supporting students there. But I saw more than anything that I really wanted to connect with students before they got to the university. I saw that there were fundamental things that really assisted students in succeeding, things like culture and identity and learning your history. And I wanted to get more into the grassroots and becoming a part of being a part of that. And also my education, I just finished a master's thesis on Indigenous sovereignty and community healing. So I wrote about, I actually connected to a community in Teslin, and in Teslin they are self-governing. This is in the Yukon. And I worked with them for a couple years and they taught me about their self-governing process, how it works for the community. And I just wrote about how going back to our traditional systems and who we are can help to heal us and for us to thrive going forward. All right, so so this is an overview of the Rivers to Success program. So here it says the issue. When the Truth and Reconciliation Commission came out, we saw the recommendations, and then we also surveyed our students that were a part of the BBF, our Building Brighter Futures program that has these scholarships and bursaries. And we asked them, what do you need to succeed? What do you need to make sure that you're thriving and you're making sure that you're succeeding in your education? And what we got from that is that they needed cultural identity, a sense of belonging, and they needed a sense of resilience. So within this program, we are measuring our program based off of those things, and it's what the grounding principles are that we go into this. So our program is going to be national. It's a national program across all of Canada. Before pre-COVID times, there was definitely the intention of having both in-person and the online aspect. Luckily, before even COVID happened, we were building an online platform. And in this online platform, this is how we plan on connecting nationally. Um, so we have three streams in our program. There's a high school stream, a post-secondary stream, and a career transition stream. The high school stream is for students in grade 10 to 12 and the transitioning into university. The university stream is for those who may be in the beginning years of university, and then you're meeting somebody, maybe a more senior student who can help you to transition in university to help you succeed. And then into the career transition, it'll be someone in their final years of university going into their field of study and being mentored by someone in that field of study, a professional. And we hope that this will eventually come full circle and that our mentees will become mentors and that you'll become a part of this program and stay full circle in that. Um, we in our portal, I'll go over it further here in our presentation, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour of what our portal looks like. And there are meeting spaces, there are spaces there for resources to make sure that we're supporting you all in your mentoring relationship. There's we will have events that will be happening once a month, and this is where we'll host them. And on top of that, like I said, we wanted to make sure we were having the in-person meetings. We don't want to lose the in-person necessity, especially of Indigenous people. We love coming together. We love that in-person community feel, and especially that on the land feel. So we'll definitely make sure we're putting in the effort to make, when it is safe to do so, we're going to make sure that we have the in-person gatherings, and this will happen across the country. Our plans were originally to, this year we were hosting on the ground in Manitoba, Ontario, and Alberta. Um, and then we would be nationally with the portal. People nationally can still, they can be a part of the program, but just to know that if you were in BC, if you're in Saskatchewan, we just wouldn't have on the ground events until a few years down the road when we're more established. So definitely national. Anyone can apply to be a part of this program. You might meet a mentor that is across the country, maybe the next province, maybe in the same city. It really depends on what you're looking for. Location is a priority, but we also want to make sure that we're matching based off of what your goals are, what you need to grow, and then finding someone that can assist you in doing that. So we also want to make sure that we are developing and we're seeing the mentoring relationship as a whole being. So within our program, you can see on our infographic here, the emotional, the intellectual, the physical, and the spiritual. We have resources that are going to make sure that we're supporting students in whatever it may be. It might be somebody needing emotional support on that first day of class with that anxiety. It might be, a third year university student who says, I really need to get out of eating Kraft dinner noodles every day. And we actually have created some resources where it's at home gardening and recipes with Indigenous foods and Indigenous recipes done by Indigenous people. And it's for at home things that can keep you healthy. We'll have access to elders and to ceremony, hopefully, and to teachings so that we're uplifting that spiritual side as well. So just want to cover quickly here, what is a mentor and what is a mentee? We find a lot that people are a little bit hesitant to register for the program because they don't see themselves as a mentor. They don't see themselves as somebody who can give back. And it's actually kind of sad on our side because we see when we meet all these people, we find, like I personally, I fangirl all the time over the great things that youth and all these professionals that all these people are doing. And at the end of the day, what we say is a mentor is a friend. A mentor is somebody who's going to be there to support you, who is going to have your back, who is going to make sure that no matter what choice you make, no matter which step you take in your journey, they're with you. And they're there to make sure that you are reaching your goals and helping whatever way that you need at that time. The other important thing to remember is as a mentor, you also don't know everything and you don't have to know everything. You're going to learn from your mentee, and the mentee is going to take on the role of a mentor at some moments. So, also realizing that this relationship is reciprocal. And what is a mentee? So, little bit here, as a mentee, you're expected to actively engage in a learning relationship by bringing your experiences, questions, surprises, and challenges for exploration, discussion, and learning. So just knowing that, just to be open and that we're here for you, and to be open to your struggles, to be open to working through them. And at the same time, just to remember that it is a reciprocal relationship, and you also have something to offer to your mentor. You have something to offer to the program. You might not know what that is yet, but you will figure it out. And hopefully, we're here to assist with that along the way. But what is different? What is it that we don't already have here in Canada in our programs? And what we feel is different about our program is the Indigenous aspect of it. We want to come from an Indigenous lens, from Indigenous perspectives, and with Indigenous solutions. Um, so one of the things that we also saw in the reports, in the TRC recommendations, and in the reports done from our students, is that they wanted Indigenous mentors. They needed people who look like them, who've been through the same things as them, who can understand them. So within our program, we are only taking First Nation, Inuit and Métis mentors and mentees for that reason, but there also is a place for allies to be a part of our program as well. So some of the matching criteria that we base off of is um, I'll definitely check in on the chat. I'm sorry if I can't keep up with it here, but we'll check in it. You guys feel free to keep writing in it. So we'll definitely check it in maybe later down the road here. So for the matching criteria, these are our priorities when we look at how we match our mentors and our mentees. Our portal actually assists us a lot because it speed matches for us based on the profiles, and it will give us the best 5 matches based on what you've put into there. So we will get your profile with the 5 matches, and then it's up to us to make that final match. And we'll go over your goals and development areas, where you want to go and where you want to develop, and then finding somebody who has the skills and who has the needs, who has the resources to give you what you need. Indigeneity is also a very important one, and then also your area of interest, and then also your area of study. Also, we want to make sure, like I had mentioned, we're in person and we're land based. Definitely, like in this technology filled world, and with how we need to interact and we need to live at these moments, and we're happy that we can do it in our portal. But we definitely we will not forget how important it is to keep that in person community aspect alive. So the mentoring relationship is a very big part of this program, but there's also the community part of this program where we want you to feel like you are going to meet other students and professionals on a regular basis that you can meet and that you can network with. So like it says here, just future goals for programs when regulations permit. And this is, again, to help balance the Western education with traditional knowledge. And another part that I'm actually really excited about is our advisory committee. We're developing an advisory committee at the moment, and this committee will help to steer our program, will help to make sure that we can go to them when we have questions, when we have teachings we need to learn. And they're also there to help us connect to the community who can voice on their area of expertise. We have seats for an elder, for a knowledge keeper, for there's a youth seat, there will be a mentor and a mentee seat, LGBTQ two spirit seat, there will be an Afro-Indigenous seat, a youth in care, missing and murdered Indigenous women seat. We really wanted to make sure we were capturing as much of what our Indigenous population looks like and all the voices and needs that we need to address within that advisory committee. So the length of our program, we will do matching throughout the summer months, and you will be matched in September until May. So it's about 9 months. Once you're matched, that relationship really is yours. It's up to you how much you want to match. Whatever works for your relationship is really whatever works for between you and your mentor or your mentee. But what we suggest is at least 1 hour a month. Just make sure you're not going a whole month without checking in. And even though we have our length is only 9 months, you have the option of continuing on your relationship. We hope you continue on that relationship past May into the summer, and then again come into our program and be a part of our program again with the same mentor mentee, or maybe switch it up if you feel like you got something great from that relationship, but you'd love to learn from someone else. We can do that as well. And so another thing, just to keep going on with the mentoring relationships, is just the different types of relationships. And again, this is just reinforcing the thought that we all have something to offer and we all have something that people can learn from, and we all have areas that we need to learn as well. So there are many different types of relationships, and you might have multiple types of mentors and mentees along your way that might change in the way that you interact and you see those relationships. So these are just a few examples, aunties and uncles, the informal, personal, easy communication, usually found in your community or your family, the coaches, advisors, teachers. This again is informal, but you might find in a little bit of a more semi-formal situation like in sports. And then in mentoring programs like this, where it is a more set up situation where you are meeting your mentor and a mentee with the goal of being specifically that. I'm actually going to just maybe pause it there and ask if anyone has any questions before I keep going forward. Maybe I'll just look in the chat here. Okay, I'll keep going if there's no questions. So goal setting is an important part of our program. It's what's going to keep you organized and moving on your journey and progressively moving towards your destination. It also helps us to make sure that we're doing our part, that your mentor is doing their part, and that also we can measure what's working. So we want to just make sure like you're understanding where you're at in your state. If you are in high school, what is it that you are working towards? Are you maybe wanting to go into trades? Are you wanting to go into a more research job? What is it that you are looking for? And then we can help you once you make that decision. Identify your future state. What is it that if you're going into nursing and you're in your first year of nursing, maybe we set you up with a nursing student and who is in her more senior years, and they can help you with the practicums and preparing for those things where you might not be there yet, but you definitely know you will be there at some point. And then it just, it again, identify your challenges and your barriers, because the more aware we become of those, the more that we can make sure that we are doing our part to assist you in overcoming those. So a self-assessment is also important in the program along with the goals. And in the very beginning, we do ask for you to set your goals in your first meeting with your mentor, but to also do the self-assessment. And if anyone is familiar with Nigan Sinclair, he is a professor at the University of Manitoba. And he does a presentation called Climbing the Mountain, and it's to teach reconciliation. And in this presentation, he has 4 questions. They are: who am I? Who can help me? Why am I here? And where am I going? We really like these questions, and we thought that these would be a great starting point, a midpoint, and even an end point for both mentors and mentees to ask themselves. And again, it just helps you to become aware of where you are at, what it is that you need to build, who it is that you are, what it is that you're passionate about, and what you really want to do. It just helps to get that self-awareness and to direct you and to direct the people in your support team around you. So resources I brought up, we do have resources, and this is also how we are making sure that we are supporting the relationship as a whole, and also just trying to cover all of those areas that we talked about. So we have a couple examples here. Cultural resources, we're doing a Powwow 101 whiteboard. This is more for our allies and people who are very new to being a part of the Indigenous culture. We do have, like donors and certain people who want to learn and be a part of this program. So we also want to teach along with that. So there's Powwow 101, there's a brick stitch tutorial. If anyone has wanted to learn how to do brick stitch earrings, we created that. Like I said, we did some nutrition videos where we went with Jim Dockstader. He lives in Six Nations. He took us out to his garden. He showed us how to plant garlic and sweet potatoes, some recipes for making them, and then also some videos around medicines and smudging. And we're also working with CAMH, and we're developing a few resources, some tip sheets, some videos of navigating the mental health system as an Indigenous youth, barriers as an Indigenous youth in the mental health system, tips for mental health from an Indigenous lens. We actually have youth groups that are together they decided on the ideas, they decided on how we were the direction, the content, they've decided everything. And in one of these videos that we're doing, it's actually a TikTok style video where we are going to have a few people give mental health tips, and then they're going to pass the strawberry and then to the next person. So it's a fun way to definitely to keep our participants engaged as well, because this is going to be ongoing and in development throughout the program. Like I said, events we're going to have every month and maybe some more than once a month. And for right now, we're going to live in this type of world, same type of events as we're having today, but hopefully down the road, more on the ground. Last month, we had an event with Casey Adams. She's a Cree artist from Winnipeg, Manitoba. She walked us through a Norval Morrisseau painting. And then we also went over, she told the story of the painting, which was a Wisagi Jack story. So it was really nice way to just have, again, that community feel. People came together, they painted, we just talked. We were on Zoom for 2.5 hours. It's also a good way to, if you wanted to go into the arts, to talk to somebody in the arts. And then it gave that history and also that cultural teaching that we want to try to get out there the best way we can too. Youth are asking for it, and I think it's great that it's being asked for, and we want to do the best that we can in giving that back. And we're in partnership with a few people. Big Brothers Big Sisters is the biggest one. They're helping us with creating some programs around training mentors. So that will be stuff that is coming up in the future. And program evaluation, again, this ties into the goals. And again, it's an important part of our program. We are evaluating based off of sense of community, sense of resiliency, and sense of identity. And I think those are great things for us to base our evaluation off of. And the way that we are doing it is through surveys. We'll do 3 surveys, one at the very beginning that you'll do in your first meeting, one midpoint, and then one endpoint. And then we're also going to have qualitative based interview sessions where we're talking with people. And then throughout the program, there's always going to be opportunities to tell us what kind of resources should we make, what kind of speakers should we bring in, what kind of events should we hold. Um, this program is new, like I said, and it's in development. It's developing every day, and we hope that the people who are a part of it will help us in developing that as well. And this is just a little bit about who does the evaluation part of our program. Inspire has a research nest team, which is actually another really exciting new thing that has come out. So we have research assistants and a couple employees that their whole job is to do research and to make sure that we are evaluating where we're at, and that we are using Indigenous ways of evaluating even, and Indigenous ways of research throughout our program, and that we are following those methodologies. So I'll just exit out of here, and I'm gonna take you through a quick tour of our of the portal. So just wondering, do you see? Let me just stop sharing here for 1 second.
I
Yeah.
can see the website.
Okay. Just
So
making sure
we
you
are
guys are.
here to help. That
Yep. Okay. You can see the Rivers to Success. Yep.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the portal. If you decide that you would like to be a part of our program, on the Inspire website, if you go to the Rivers to Success page, it'll link you to Mentor City. The first step will just be going through your profile and filling in your questions. And it's pretty basic. It'll ask you for your education, what your plans are. It'll ask you to give a little bit of a summary on yourself, 3 words to describe yourself. Give us a bit of a summary. What are your goals? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Just trying to get to know the mentor and the mentee. If you can also be both, if that is what you would like, you can be a mentor and a mentee, which is something I would actually suggest all people should do. And if you are a mentor, you will have to do a back check. You will be taken to the back check page. It is automatically done through the website. It takes about a week, give us about a week, and then once you're confirmed and we have your back check complete, you'll get an approval and a confirmation email, and then you'll be set into the website. So once you're in the website, this is what it looks like. This is our portal. Again, it's in the development phases. This is actually super excited for us. When we started working on it, it was just black and white little bits of text in here. So it's growing every day as well. So yeah, this is the homepage. This is the banner here where we will update on any new resources that come out, any events that are coming up. We just had our orientation last week. Um, this is Greg, again, Greg and I. We have office hours every Thursday from 1 to 3. So there's a Zoom link in there, and you can just go into the Zoom link and get in touch with us that way. So if you go down through it, it'll tell your profile. It tracks how many hours you've been in working with your mentor, your mentee. It'll list your mentors and your mentees here. We have a discussion page. There's the curriculum resources, which I'll show you shortly. And then any events. Again, these are the links to the events and to the office hours. We also get a lot of information where different organizations will send us just updates on things that are happening in their own communities and in their own organizations. And we try to spread the word as much as we can. So we also put that um, into this website. I really hope you guys can hear the construction outside. So I'll show you what it looks like when you get into your profile with your mentee and your mentor. There's spaces to send messages to one another, attach files. This is because my mentee hasn't set goals yet, but once my mentee sets her goals, they'll be listed here, and this just makes sure we're both staying on track. This is where we can keep track of notes. You'll also fill in your time that you're available, and then you can go into each other's calendars and set up a meeting time and a link here. And if we go up to the side here, so this also will go step by step on what you should do just when you get matched. So again, send your message, set your time in your calendar, visit the resources section. There's a mentoring agreement that we have, and the mentoring agreement has a lot of information on just how to set a schedule, what to do in your first meeting, and lots of tips like that. Review your goals and your hours, and then again, the mentoring relationship. So I'll show you the resources here. So this is our little library of resources that are building, and these are the themes that we have right now. I will go into the introduction to mentorship here, and then these are our badges, and it's getting fuller. I'm actually kind of proud of it. We just started like 2 months ago, so it's nice to see it building up. And then you'll go into the badges here. So there is a few different formats of what can be in here. This is what the mentoring guide looks like. It's in a PDF form. And again, it just walks you through tips and such, things to consider before you begin, mentor and a mentee, again, some more. The types of mentoring. Oh, I never brought this up, but there is one-on-one mentoring that we are matching with, but there will also be group mentorship opportunities throughout the program. And that might be just in informal mentorship settings like events. And our high school stream is still developing. It's a little bit tricky now just with what's happening. But just for safety reasons, we wanted the high school stream to be group mentorship, just because there are some minors in that stream. Um, there is this learning module here, and just so it's kind of nice because we try to do things that were interactive. Um, let's see if I can find a good page here. But yeah, there's like click-through processes, and you can fill in some information and stuff. So that's another type of resource we have. And then there's just some few videos that again we've made up. So if you decide to come into the program and be a part of this, you'll have access to all of that. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for everything that I have to share.